The third stanza, it opens with a question that he asks himself. Whom should I run to tell? Among all of those with their back doors of the latch, for the bringer of bad news, that small hour's visitant, who by being expected might be kept distant. So now when he sees these forces marching, these soldiers coming in tanks, apparently they are all there to attack his land. So in the heart of little Seamus Heaney, this question arises that whom should I run and tell? Because it's early morning, still the people of his land are sleeping. And then he presents another picture. And the following lines, they very clearly depict the situation of the people who have become accustomed to this everyday atrocity, the people who have become used to this kind of threat. So he says that whom should I go and tell? Should I go and tell those people who he says that who have kept their back doors on the latch? They keep their doors locked because they have become so used to these bad news. They have become so accustomed to people coming in and telling them about the arrival of these forces. They keep their doors locked because they are afraid that somebody would open their doors with force and enter and violate the sanctity of their privacy. So that is why they keep their doors locked, and they don't want to listen to the bringer of bad news, because when they hear somebody coming, they immediately assume that somebody is coming to usurp their rights, somebody is coming to snatch them, somebody is coming to murder them, kill them, and shed their blood by use of force. So that is why they don't want to listen to this kind of news. They don't want to open their doors because nobody is welcome. Either it's the bringer of news or the people who are coming down by force, entering the streets and violating and using brutal force to take away what is theirs. In the final stanza, we listen to Seamus Heaney, the poet. He says, sowers of seed, erectors of headstones, O charioteers, above your dormant guns, it stands here still, stands vibrant as you pass, the visible, untoppled Omphales. So in the first line, he is addressing his own people, the Irish Catholic people who are suffering, whose lives are not safe, whose houses are not safe, whose lands are taken by force, who have been, though being in majority, have been reduced to a minority. So he is addressing his people, sowers of seed. These are the people who own the land, the farmers, the owners of the land, erectors of headstones. The literal meaning is the people who dig the graves and who bury the dead. But he is basically talking to the people of his land, the laborers, the farmers, all the workers who live in this land, who have their origin, who have their roots in this land. He says, who are not only planting the seeds, who are not only those who are working, tilling the land, but those who are being buried in this land. So they are the ones who rightfully and justly own this land. So in the first line, he is talking to his own people, the same people who in the earlier lines he says, when he refers to them, he says that the whole country was sleeping. Now he is trying to arouse his people. He is trying to make them rise from their slumber. And then he addresses the people, the soldiers who are standing in the turrets of the tanks. He says, "O charioteers, above your dormant guns, it stands here still, stands vibrant as you pass, the visible, untoppled Omphalos." So he says that though you pass our lands, you have your guns, which are not presently firing anything. But he says that as you pass by, it stands here still. And what is this it? It's Omphalos. Again here Seamus Heaney is referring to myth. He's alluding to the Greek mythology. Omphalos was a conical stone which was considered to mark the center of the world, and it was present in the temple of Apollo at Delphi in Greece. So it was considered to hold the land, hold the entire universe intact. It was considered to be present at the center of the universe. So by alluding to Greek mythology, basically what Seamus Heaney here is referring to is that his center of strength is his country, is his land. His Omphalos is his Ireland. And he says that it stands untoppled. It stands untoppled, it's invincible, it's unscrutable, it cannot be broken. No doubt you are marching down my streets, on your chariots, on your tanks, but the people of my land, the sowers of the seed, the erectors of of headstones, they would not let you topple my Omphalos. They would not let you break us. So basically here in these lines, he's trying to address his people that no matter what is done, no matter what violence is committed against you, no matter how much rights are usurped from you, but you should not let your spirit die. Your spirit is your strength. It should remain with you, and it will keep you intact. It will fill you with the strength to struggle, to put up a freedom to put up a struggle of freedom against these usurpers. So he is in a way, when he's taking you back to his childhood memories, and he is referring to an incident which was not though these forces which were coming to his land, the tanks that he had seen as a child, they were not the tanks comprising RUC. They were the Allied forces who were fighting the Germans. It was the Second World War that was going on. But taking you back to his childhood, from his own childhood past, he takes you to the history through the title of the poem. When he picks up a legend of Roddy McCauley, who was a legendary freedom fighter, and then he relates all this to the Greek mythology, the Omphalos, the conical stone, which was considered as the center of universe, which kept the world intact. So he is connecting history, myth, past, and legend all together to convey to his people that no matter what goes around, no matter what happens to you, you should not let your Omphalos die. You should keep it intact. The spirit that will hold you together, that will keep you united. That spirit should not be dead. That spirit should not be broken. So that is what this poem is. Hopefully, you have got an idea now, dear students, about the poem. Thank you.